Alexa Bliss fans, I got some bad news for you. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that news is, why it's bad news, and why I'm a little worried. Because Alexa Bliss, well, she's on her way back to WWE. As previously reported by PW Insider, WWE creative sources have stated that she is not scheduled for an immediate return. In fact, her return is expected until after the holidays. Thus, fans shouldn't expect to see her back until the new year in 2025. PW Insider actually got a source that stated that the current creative regime looks at it as they try to maximize everything they do, and because they're not in a rush to bring her back, there's no real reason to bring her back at this point. We still got to go through Survivor Series, and Saturday Night's main event may be the Royal Rumble. Now, look, the WWE star has been absent from television for over a year. In fact, almost 2 years. She was last seen at the Royal Rumble in January of 2023. Obviously, WWE's creative plans for her, Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, they went and they skewed, right? Because Alexa Bliss, she lost in a women's championship match at this event after multiple teases and multiple months of teases that she would realign with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. That wasn't the case, though, because she was pulled from television. She was pulled from television as she wanted to take a hiatus from the company, only to return a few months later, with the idea being that she'd be paired with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy and going on from there. Obviously, her and Bray Wyatt, they have a history. They gel very well. So, I mean, they made her the female version of the Fiend. And so, Bray Wyatt gets pulled from television because they have a heart issue. And Uncle Howdy gets pulled from television because Bray's not on there. Now, we know that Alexa Bliss became pregnant. She was pulled from television. I haven't seen her back. She gave pregnancy. Congrats to her. Bray Wyatt, unfortunately, passed away. They've brought back Uncle Howdy with the Wyatt Six. Now, that leads us to today's video because there was a very interesting exchange on Monday morning. Bliss, she was active on social media, responding to fans. It all started when a fan asked her where she was, and she responded, "Unfortunately, not up to me." Then she responded saying that she missed one fan. There was another fan that claimed that she didn't care about making a return. She said, "You're right, recovering from skin cancer removal, pregnancy, and postpartum health complications, back to back to back, really does come across as doesn't care." And she's 100% right. The bad news there, obviously, is where is Alexa Bliss? It's not up to her. So not only does this confirm the report by PW Insider that WWE doesn't have any plans for her and has no intentions of bringing her back within the next 2 months, they don't have anything. And that is worrisome. I do not like that because I felt like I just did a video about Alexa Bliss and I was talking about how I believe the way to do it, the way that WWE should book Alexa Bliss's return is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, and it would be this. What's in 2 months? It's the Royal Rumble. Well, come Indianapolis, I think February 1st, why not you have Alexa Bliss make her grand return to WWE, her grand return to WWE television, right? Royal Rumble, it's a perfect spot. There's no real reason to bring her back heading into Survivor Series, right? She could make a return, but she doesn't fit on the PLE card, right? There's not a lot of spots on PLE cards in general. Under Triple H, he likes to keep them between 5 and 6 matches. So there's really no reason for that. Saturday Night's main event, I guess you could make an argument. It's a big stage. It's their return since, I believe, August of 2008 that they've held a NBC special with Saturday Night's main event, right? It's a big deal. They're expected to load up that show. But really, for me, it's like, okay, let's get through Survivor Series. They already have their storylines, kicked up. Let's get through Saturday Night's main event. She doesn't necessarily need a return for that. Enjoy the holidays with her fam. And then coming into 2025, just kick it off as a big start of the year, right? They did that with Liv Morgan earlier this year. She was out for 6 months. They waited till the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble's always been and always will be an event where whether it's the men's or the women's Royal Rumble matches, you look forward to seeing, A, who's going to be in the match, and B, who are they bringing back? Whether it's returning stars, whether it's legends, whatever, right? That is the perfect spot. They did that with Liv. They did that with Jade Cargill, right? They've done that for years, and it's perfect because the Royal Rumble is obviously the start of WrestleMania season, right? It gets everything started. And you want to build up as much fan interest in that event as possible. And you want to build up as much interest into WrestleMania as possible. Well, how do you do that? Well, you get a lot of excitement of who's coming back and who's going to win the match. Also, I feel like you have to always deliver at number 30 or it's just like very lackluster, but I digress. So when you have it like that, having Alexa Bliss or having a Liv Morgan or having a Jade Cargill make their return or their debut or whatever, it is a big deal because fans are expecting that. And if you don't give it to them, then that can be lackluster. That can be a disappointment for a lot of fans, including myself, right? I've always been the guy where, you get Christmas money. I would always save my money and I would buy the Royal Rumble. I wouldn't buy WrestleMania. One, it was cheaper. And two, Royal Rumble has always been my favorite event. And so by doing so, it just worked out, right? But having Alexa Bliss return at this event would be perfect because not only would you get a major pop for her return, which is always a good thing, but you would also get the situation of, okay, you can start her feud in a natural way, right? I don't necessarily see Alexa Bliss returning and winning the Royal Rumble because there's so many names out there that can, a la Charlotte Flair, but that would be the way to do it. You can you get a good initial reaction. You set the tone for, is she a babyface? Is she a heel? What is her gimmick? Is she back to the Fiend type character? Is she back to Alexa Bliss? Like, what are we working with? And then you can plant the seeds potentially for her upcoming storyline and feud, right? There's a lot there other than, hey, it's November on a Monday night. Here's Alexa Bliss, right? It's more impactful, right? It is more memorable. It's a big stage, right? So that's why I would personally keep it at the Royal Rumble or book it at the Royal Rumble. But you could do whatever you wanted in terms of who she's feuded with. Is she a babyface? Is she a heel? Etc. Right? But it's very important to set the tone for Alexa Bliss. Set the tone. Get the ball rolling. Have fans encouraged by the storylines of WWE. And in recent years, there's been an issue of lack of fan belief in Alexa Bliss, not necessarily because of her or her work or her work ethic. It's a fact of just lack of creative, right? You need strong creative. And so when she was paired with Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt, that is why people were like, oh, okay, we're on to something here. They obviously have big plans for Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. Now Alexa Bliss is paired with them. This is going to be good. This is going to be a lot of good stuff. So if you look at it like that, you pinpoint it like that, there's a lot. You got to start off hot. You got to start off right. And if they can do that with Alexa Bliss, then I think WWE will be cooking with gas. Let me know down in the comments there below. What do you think about WWE? What they could do with her and her